Thank you, thank you. An awkward high school student made it into an elite choir without an elite voice. How does this happen, you ask? Well, his audition was freaking hilarious. In the khaki pants he wore, he had a dripping bag of water in his pocket, and as he sang his song, he slowly closed the bag, leaving a trail of water down his leg. The audience was still in silent when he finished that song, thinking he had just peed his pants. But they were all filled with laughter when he showed them the bag, revealing his trick. The choir director was extremely impressed with his ability to handle a crowd while seemingly peeing his pants, thus securing his spot in the choir. He used humor to manipulate the situation to get what he wanted. A book entitled The Humor Code by Peter McGraw and Joel Warner defines humor as a harmless attack. An example the book uses is play fighting. For some reason, the use of fighting without consequences is hilarious. Like, haha, this could suck. Taking the sucky parts of life and making them harmless eliminates fear. By comedically manipulating situations, we find happiness. That young high school student took the fear of auditioning and invoked happiness from his peers and the choir director. Comedy can get you what you want. So I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want. Happiness. Happiness is what you want. We're always searching for those smiles, those laughs, or the dopamine that your brain releases. Nature neuroscience research identifies the dopamine reward system being triggered by humor. Laughter is literally the best medicine. If you had a bad day, you can just turn on a funny movie and your brain will tell you feel better. So if comedy makes everything so much easier, where's all that world peace we're always looking for? Well, comedy's a strong defender against fear, but one mortal enemy remains: sensitivity. Often play fighting turns into real fighting and people take offense to innocent jokes. For example, let's say someone makes a joke about short people. That doesn't necessarily mean that he is talking about me as a short person. The opinions we have don't affect the other people unless they allow it to. Words can't hurt you physically. But you know what can hurt you physically? Those murder hornets. You should fear that, not words. Fear is such a toxic emotion, and it's all too common. Fear affects everyone, and I am no exception. There's been many job interviews and performances and auditions and even just meeting new people that I have completely failed at. But in all of that failure, I've discovered that comedy is the best tactic to get anything you want. I once worked as a dress specialist at a high-end dress store. My job was to sell a dress to the client. But there was always many financial or emotional or honestly just dramatic obstacles that were bombarding me constantly. So to keep the entire appointment more upbeat and happy, I would crack jokes constantly. I would usually do them at my own expense or sometimes to relate the dress to the client, making the sale easier. This tactic allowed the situation to stay lighter and feel less like a business transaction and more like a friendship, or just two people related for a common purpose. The humor kept the appointment full of energy and completely in my control. Laughter being compared to medicine is kind of awkward for this next point that I'm going to make, but laughter is also contagious. Everything is funnier with a crowd laughing all together. The common ground of pleasure breaks that awkward social tension. TV shows have a trick to utilize this peer pressure effect known as a laugh track. Many people have tried to prove the importance of this track by taking it away in TV shows like Friends. This shows the audience that the laughter is more of a peer pressure mechanism than actual comedy. Monkey see, monkey do, if you will. I'm sorry, I definitely just called you a monkey. Now, I'm going to show you another terrible joke without a laugh track to prove this point. What do you call a can opener that can't open a can? A can't opener? See, wasn't that terrible? I'm not saying the laugh track would have improved the quality of the joke, but it definitely would have made you feel more inclined to participate. Everyone enjoys to laugh, and if you know how to make them laugh, then you automatically have a tension breaker to get things that you want. By dissolving fear of situations, you leave only happiness. So next time you feel overwhelmed by a challenge or an obstacle, just pretend that you peed your pants. Thank you, I'm Savannah Short, and you have been watching the SAVxTALK.